Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for information on living in Maryland. Today I'm going to talk about Frederick and whether or not it's the most underrated city in Maryland. And I'm really curious to know what you think, so stick around. And I have to tell you before we start that I am a realtor here in Maryland. So if you have any questions that pop up about moving here or what it's like living here, just feel free to reach out. My information is in the caption below and it's also linked at the end of this video. So with that, let's get started. When I hear people talk about Maryland, I rarely hear them bring up Frederick. I hear them bring up Baltimore and Annapolis, which is our state capital, or even Ocean City, but rarely do they ever bring up Frederick, and they're really missing out. This is such a shame because Frederick is one of the best cities in Maryland. And yes, I'm biased because I live near there, but for the majority of my life, I also didn't really think about it. I didn't even visit it until I was in my 20s. So, and I've lived here within 30 minutes of it my entire life. And I think part of that is they just really haven't been on the radar, which is crazy because of how much they have to offer. Now, we should probably compare them to places like Baltimore and Annapolis since we're already going that route. So let's address Baltimore really quick because I'm personally not a fan, and I think a lot of people are in the same boat that actually live in Maryland. So let's just get it out of the way. Baltimore is good because you have Ravens Stadium, Orioles Stadium, other major venues. You have really good restaurants. You have the Inner Harbor, which is supposed to be really good. But what I'll tell you is the really good things in Baltimore are surrounded by the really terrible things in Baltimore. And it's just overall not an enjoyable place to spend a full day. So let's leave Baltimore there. It's also like really hard to compare with its size. It's a major metropolitan city where Frederick and Annapolis are not. So let's knock that one off. Annapolis, on the other hand, gets so much attention and is really great to compare to Frederick. So Annapolis is the state capital. It's where the governor's mansion is. It also is the home to the Naval Academy. So really cool place. I mean, there's a lot of awesome things about Annapolis being right on the water. There's all kinds of boating, water sports you can do. But the thing that it's lacking is its restaurant scene. I mean, you think for such a established historic city with great downtown that it would have just amazing restaurants, and it doesn't. It's kind of lacking in that area. And if you go to Frederick has over 60 bars and restaurants, and I've mentioned this in almost every video, but they're so good. I mean, they have everything you can think of and it's quality. They also have a lot of breweries to go to, where Annapolis you're going to a lot of bars, right? So, and the bars aren't even that great in Annapolis. Now in Frederick, you don't have many bars at all. It's not really like a nightlife scene. So, you know, when you're comparing them, if you want the nightlife, you go to Annapolis. If you want more of the chill, good vibes, great food, great beer, you go to Frederick. But what makes Frederick so underrated is that it's never talked about, and it is one of the coolest downtowns that we have. If you go walk Annapolis and then go walk Frederick, you are gonna feel like you should probably move to Frederick. Especially if you look at the prices between Annapolis and Frederick, it's gonna be an easy decision for you. And now I wanna talk about the activities in each area because it's kind of funny to talk about Annapolis in this way. With how much it's praised, if you just took the boating out of Annapolis, just riding on the boats, there's not that much to do. And you're probably thinking, well, yeah, that's the draw to Annapolis. Of course, that's what's so great about it. But the majority of people who live in Annapolis don't actually own a boat. So it's not really on their activities list to go out on a boat every day. It's really expensive to own a boat, own a slip, or rent a slip, or own a house with a dock. So let's just get that out of the way. Let's assume you don't have a boat in Annapolis. You might just have kayaking or stand-up paddleboarding and the views. That's about it. Other than that, outdoor activity-wise, there's not much to do in Annapolis. Where Frederick, on the other hand, you have the Monocacy River where you could stand up paddleboard and kayak, but you also have amazing hiking trails nearby. You have the Frederick City Watershed, which is just west of downtown Frederick, where you can go hiking or mountain biking, and it's some of the best mountain biking in the entire state of Maryland. So I think it's funny when you're comparing the two in the outdoor activities to see that Frederick really has more to offer, but it's rarely, if ever, talked about. So let me know in the comments below if you think Frederick is the most underrated city in Maryland. And if you have another city in mind, let me know that too. I'm so curious to know what you're thinking. And if you're looking to move to, from, in Maryland, I'm always happy to help. My contact information is below. And if you're thinking of moving to Frederick, make sure to watch my pros and cons of living in Frederick. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe so that you stay up to date on all of my videos about living in Maryland.